6 ugly habits that make seniors look older and unhappy. Do you have them? Hello, dear elders, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. David. Throughout my many years in the medical profession, especially when caring for the health of the elderly, I have not only looked at prescriptions or test results. I look into the eyes of my patients. And you know, there is a disease that silently clings to us in our later years. It does not cause physical pain like joint issues, but it erodes the soul more terribly than any other illness. That is loneliness. Many people sit in my clinic, clutching their test results, and ask, "Doctor, why is it that as I get older, my children and grandchildren visit less? Why are their phone calls getting shorter? Why are my old circles of friends thinning out?" Dear friends, the truth is very painful. Sometimes the reason does not lie in wrinkles, gray hair, or a slow gait. Loved ones do not leave because you are old. They leave because of invisible walls built from unintentional habits and behaviors that we form ourselves. We do not notice them, but those around us do. Today, David is not standing here to criticize or lecture. David is here as a friend to help you look into the mirror of your soul. We will together dissect these unintentional, unattractive behaviors to regain the dignity, trust, and warmth in the eyes of your children and grandchildren. But before we begin, please click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Your support is the greatest tonic that gives David the motivation to spread these positive life values. Have you clicked it yet? Good, let us go find the answer to the first wall together. The first thing that makes others feel hesitant whenever they approach us is the habit of complaining about everything. You know, human beings, from young to old, are always attracted to positive energy and peace. But as we step into our later years, we easily fall into the trap of dissatisfaction. Try to remember, is our opening sentence often, "The sun is too hot today, my head aches," or "Young people today live so superficially," or "Food nowadays is all toxic, eating it means death." Unintentionally, you are turning yourself into a dark cloud. When you speak, the surrounding atmosphere suddenly becomes heavy. I have a 78-year-old patient named Henry. He used to have a very close group of old friends who met every morning for coffee. But gradually, his friends appeared less often, until he was the only one sitting there. Henry was sad and did not understand why. The truth was simple. In the 60 minutes sitting with his friends, he spent 55 minutes complaining about politics, his aching knee, and how his daughter-in-law did not know how to cook. His friends did not lack love for him, but they were afraid of bearing that daily load of negative energy. Pain and loss are the realities of old age, but we have the right to choose how we express them. Instead of saying, "My legs hurt so much, I can't go anywhere," try saying, "These legs have carried me for 70 years of life already. It is only natural they are a bit tired now. I am truly grateful that I can still stand firm." Every time you intend to say something negative, force yourself to find something positive to say alongside it. This small change not only lightens the listener's heart, but you will also find your own soul becoming brighter. The second thing that David often sees is that you turn every conversation into a medical report. I fully understand that at this age, our bodies are like a machine that has been running for too long, breaking here, sagging there. Health is the number one concern. But if every time your children call to ask, "How are you, Mom?" and you spend 15 minutes detailing your blood sugar index, how the new pill makes you nauseous, or how many hours you tossed and turned last night, then you are unintentionally putting your children in a difficult position. Your children love you very much, but when they hear you talk too much about pain, they feel a profound sense of helplessness. They cannot hurt in your place, nor can they cure the laws of aging. That helplessness gradually turns into fear. They become afraid to call home because they know for sure they will have to hear sad news. And so they begin to avoid it. Please spend a maximum of 5 minutes briefly updating your health status. After that, proactively change the subject. Ask your children about their work, about the little ones, or tell them about a good book you just read, or a beautiful memory from your youth that you just recalled. Let your children see that behind those illnesses, you are still a person full of life with hobbies, thoughts, and love. You are not a hospital bed. You are the spiritual anchor of the whole family. We have just gone through stories about words, Now, let us talk about the first impression. There is one thing that everyone around notices, but out of respect, no one dares to tell you directly. That is neglect of personal appearance. Many of you often say to me, "Doctor, I am old. My skin is wrinkled. My hair is falling out. Who am I dressing up for? Why bother making myself look nice for the world to laugh at?" Dear friends, you have misunderstood. Taking care of your appearance in your later years is not about being flashy. It is not about trying to look young. But it is about self-respect. When you wear wrinkled clothes, have bad breath, or messy hair when you go out, you are unintentionally sending a silent message to the world that, "I have given up. I have no value anymore and I no longer care about myself." When your children see that neglect, they feel sadness and pity rather than respect. Start your day by looking in the mirror and smiling. Bathe cleanly. Choose a set of clothes that, even if old, is washed fresh and ironed flat. Take careful care of your oral hygiene. Use a little light fragrance or a familiar but elegant scent of medicinal oil. This very action signals to your brain that, "I am still living, and I cherish my presence in this world." When you respect yourself, you will stand taller, be more confident, and trust me, your children will want to come closer to hug you, to smell that clean and fresh scent of their elder. The fourth thing I want to mention, a habit very easy to fall into but extremely repelling to the listener, the habit of interrupting. Truly, I know you do not mean to be rude. You interrupt your children sometimes because you are too excited about the story, or sometimes because you are afraid you will forget what you wanted to say if you don't say it immediately. But do you know how that looks in the eyes of young people? It is perceived as dominance. When you say, "I know already, back in my day I suffered more," or "What do you know?" you are slamming the door of communication shut. At this age, people need your wisdom and tolerance more than your corrections. Wisdom does not lie in speaking much, but in knowing when to be silent. Practice listening until the person opposite has completely stopped. Look into their eyes with understanding. Instead of imposing experience, try saying, "I understand that feeling, tell me more. I once encountered something similar in the past, but I want to hear your perspective." When you speak less and listen more, your words afterward will have 1,000 times more weight. People will come to you not because they are afraid of being scolded, but because they know here is a peaceful harbor for their souls. The fifth thing, do not act like you know everything. There is a very thin line between a wise elder and a conservative one. Today's world is changing at a dizzying pace. If we insist on using standards and experiences from 30 or 40 years ago to impose on modern life, we will build a wall separating ourselves from the social flow. Do you know who the most attractive elderly person is? It is the one who still maintains a curiosity like a child. Do not be afraid to ask your grandchildren how to use a phone, how to text with accents, or even ask about the meaning of a new slang word on the internet. When you open your heart to learn, you do not lose value at all. On the contrary, you become extremely endearing in the eyes of young people. Be a lifelong student. When you are still learning, you are still young. When you stop learning and only want to lecture others, that is when you truly grow old. Do not let yourself become a dusty old book. Be a living dictionary that always updates new pages every day. The final thing, David calls it the spread of negativity. Sometimes it is not loud complaints, but it creeps into irritable common phrases. Everything is so expensive now. Young people today no longer have manners like before. Living like this is a total mess. Dear friends, life already has too many pressures. When your children come home tired from work, they hope to hear a word of comfort or a tolerant look rather than judgments about the gloom of the world. Use your seasoned life experience to inspire rather than to sow discouragement. Instead of saying, "The world is ruined now," try saying, "I have lived through many ups and downs and seen the world change a lot, but I believe your generation will be brave enough to find the best way." That is the true style of an elder, a great tree providing shade for children to lean on whenever they face the storms of life. Dear friends, David wants to leave you with one final thought. Old age does not make you disappear. It only makes your character and essence become more distinct. If you choose gentleness, gratitude, and listening, you will become a miraculous magnet, attracting all love and respect in the most natural way. Do not take what David shared today as dry criticism. View it as a map for us to find the way back into the hearts of our children, friends, and ourselves. Among the 6 things we have gone through, which one do you find most meaningful? Or is there a habit you are determined to change starting today? Please share sincerely in the comments below. David promises to read and cherish every line of your thoughts. Please do not forget to like and share this video with your elderly friends, and click subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Your support gives David more strength to spread these good life values. Wishing you to always live happily, healthily, meaningfully, and to forever be the warmest spiritual anchor for your family. Goodbye and see you in the next journeys. Sincerely,